All right, so let me just finish off what I was saying as well. So I work with so many different artists. I've crossed paths with so many people at events, gigs, things like that, and I just thought I know so many people, but I just know their social media. I don't actually know them.
Who they are. This is exactly why I did it as well. Yeah,
and there's a lot of interviews as well. I see they're just like, they ask those typical questions
about the music, the next
everything's
gig.
about music.
Yes, nothing about the person.
person.
Oh my days. Yeah. That's so true. I so agree with you. Like, who are you when we're not pressing play?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? I so agree with that. I think COVID made it a bit better. Like, when social media became really important.
Yeah.
And there were certain artists that were quite good at, I think, being like less introverted and showing a bit about like themselves and that. Yeah. But like I fully agree with you. Yeah. I agree with you. I want to get to know the person. Yeah. But it's a double-edged sword, isn't it? Because I know some people prefer like the mystery. Yeah. Don't they? But I like to know the person.
Yeah, I want to get to know who's making this music, where's that coming from, what's your brain like, what do you think like, what are you like on your day-to-day basis, what's inspiring to you.
What's hard for you about the industry as well. Like, we talk about like all the good stuff and like the glitz and the glam. Yeah. But some people, like, you don't know, like you might be watching like your favourite DJ play, but they may have had the worst day ever. Yeah. And that sets the best part of their day. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely, yeah. And I think social media just makes everything look so easy.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, hey, look, I'm in the studio. Oh, hey, look, I've got a release. But it's like, there's so much hard work that goes into that. Or to
lack of sleep.
Yeah. Like, constantly thinking.
Hard to, like, keep up a good diet because you're on the road all the time. Yeah. Like, I can imagine, yeah. But yeah, no, it's Jasmine just coming out here, just getting all the real news.
Oh no, we've kind of started already.
I know we have. Sorry. What do you need to like introduce me? Yeah.
Well, no, it's cool to introduce you, but I just normally just jump straight into.
We can jump. We could like we have.
It would be cool to just maybe just start it like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Have you seen do you ever watch Joe Rogan's podcast and they just all like already talking?
I know. I haven't seen that.
Oh, do you know Joe Rogan?
I do know Joe Rogan.
Yeah. You should watch it. Oh, well, I'll do a formal with it.
No. Do you know what? Maybe I should introduce you, everybody. This is the star of the show. This is Jasmine Knight. And I'm Gifta. Hello.
Okay, Gifta, thank you for coming on.
You're welcome.
I really appreciate it. And how are you today?
I'm all right. It's cold.
It's freezing.
I've just about warmed up.
Yeah.
But actually, gotta just say, like, the studios here are absolutely amazing.
I know.
Just before we started recording, Jasmine and Yaz took us around all these like really cool studios. So just found a new plot in London.
Yeah.
Like
affordable, good quality. What the hell?
Yeah, honestly, like if you can't afford Pirate Studios, this is where you want to go. It's called No Stars.
Yes.
In Wood Green. Fantastic, affordable.
Yeah.
And for the budding creatives with no money, like all of us.
Everybody.
This is the place to be. Yeah. But no, I'm good. It's nice to talk to another woman in the scene, We spend so much time with boys.
Yeah. I was going to ask you about that later on, but I wanted to start with getting to know you because I see you around a lot on social media, and actually we sort of met at that hospitality event, didn't we? A hospital event. Do you remember they had a networking night?
Yes.
And I don't know if we spoke, but I know if
this year's or last year's one?
Do you know what? I'm so shit with time now, because when I think something was like last year, it's
the one
actually,
in Shoreditch.
Yeah.
That was the year before.
Okay, so 2 years ago. Oh, they had another one.
Yeah, they do it every year, don't they?
Yeah, I missed that one. Yeah. But I don't know if we spoke or we might have said hello, but then I think someone shared a picture and then we started following each other or something like that. But then you've been on my radar, and actually when I put up a little note on my Instagram and I said, who should I have on next, quite a few people were like, get on Gifta.
No way!
Yeah. I was like,
really?
So it's already done.
When stuff like that happens, like, at the moment, I'm always really surprised. Like, I'm less surprised when someone, like, doesn't know who I am or when someone doesn't know my record label. And then when someone does, I'm like,
yeah. You know me!
Yeah. I don't know. I think, like, maybe I'm at, like, a very, I don't know, don't want to call it awkward stage, but, like, at a stage where I'm
crossover.
The crossover stage in, like, my career.
From getting out of, like... what do you like up and coming?
Yeah,
getting into like
breaking through, breakthrough.
Is
that what it's called? Like, it's a very strange stage to be in, I think.
Yeah.
Because, you know, some people really know who you are. Some people are like diehard fans, and then other people ain't got a clue.
Yeah.
You know, it's really oh, but that's nice. But you know what? I've been told by a few people, like at UKF and stuff, like Laurie Charlesworth, who've told me that I'm quite good at stuff like this. So
what, a podcast?
Talking. I'm a bit of a yapper, so quite an open book.
That's good. That's the best way to be, is just be open and honest.
Yeah.
And that's why I wanted. That's why I started this podcast, and I only want people on here that are just going to be honest and just say what they think and feel, and not care about what people think. I want that raw energy.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm glad you got that.
Do you know what? It's such an interesting one when you say like not to care about what people think, because it's a hard thing to do, full stop. But we have to remember that we're in an industry where we're making art.
Yeah.
And art is inherently subjective, which means everyone's going to have a different opinion on it.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing.
Yeah.
So if someone hears your tune and they don't like your tune, or they think that's shit,
yeah,
you know, that actually means you've made good art, because you've evoked an opinion. The worst thing you want is indifference.
Yeah,
someone
goes, like, I don't know, I don't really care.
I don't care. You know?
I ain't got enough headspace to give a shit.
Yeah, exactly. And you don't want to be the person everyone always likes. You don't want to make this tune that everyone likes. Yeah. There's no discussion. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
A lot of those, a lot of millionaires that I watch on podcasts as well, they always say, like, if you try and please everybody, you just won't ever get anywhere.
Yeah. I definitely, people pleasing is a difficult one. And I think we've all got a little bit of it in us at times.
Yeah.
You, man.
Yeah, 100%.
So much easier.
I know, so much easier, but sometimes it takes people a lifetime to get out of pleasing everybody. Because I always say, for like, what I've noticed in my life as well is that when I was growing up, it was do what the teacher says, do what your parents say, do what the doctor says, do what society says. So it's like constantly being taken away from the self. So then it's like everyone becomes this like, oh my God, how can I please you? Because I'm not good enough and I don't matter and all that shit. Sorry, waffling there. But
No.
You know what I mean?
It's true, and I think like it's taken me a long time to kind of get to that mindset. Yeah. So I'm 29. Yeah.
I was going to say to you.
Baby face.
I was going to ask you how old you are.
Baby face, and I dressed like a 14-year-old boy, so it helps. But it's taken me a long time to get to the point where I'm like, I'm just going to be me.
Yeah.
Like, I think when you're a bit different, especially maybe as a girl, like when you're a bit different and not like your peers, it's hard. Yeah. Especially when, you know, young people, like teenagers and kids, are ruthless to each other. I know. You know? God. Yeah, exactly. And then, like, I didn't really know who I was because I was trying to be someone else.
Trying to fit in with everybody else.
And I wanted to fit in because that's acceptance, isn't it? Yeah. And you feel safer. But then my parents were always so supportive of who I was and, like, me being, like, a bit different. And to be honest, it wasn't until, like, I found drum and bass. Yeah. And, like, music, and went to uni and studied and left kind of like where I was from, that I started to, you know, get there. But then I'd even say even at 24, 25, I still didn't really know who I was. I definitely didn't love myself. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Right now I'm alright.
Now you're happy with
Now I'm happy. I'm looking forward to turning 30 and just being completely happy and comfortable.
I always say to people, I'm 36, and I'll always say to people when I hear them say, oh, I wish I was 18 again. I'm like, are you fucking mental? I was a fucking mess in my teenage years, my early 20s. There's no way I would ever want to go back because the older I get, the more I know myself, the more I care less about people, the more I know where I'm going, what I want, and I just have a very fucking low tolerance of bullshit.
Absolutely.
And bullshit from others and myself as well, with my inner dialogue. I'm just like, I can't think like that. I have got shit to do. I need to do this and pull myself out of it.
That's another really good one that, like, you've kind of just said, like, I'll hold myself accountable now a lot more than I did when I was 25, 26, like, even 27. Like, I don't know quite where, like, that turn happens, but everyone at kind of, like, to me, kind of, like, sure there's loads of if you're 26, I'm not dissing you, innit? Like,
she is.
I'm not, but I'm just
We've
like,
all been 26.
but
so
me at that
yeah.
age, bit of a dick, to be honest.
Yeah.
But more than anything, I was a dick to myself. Do you know what I mean? I didn't hold myself accountable.
No self-respect.
No
self-love.
No self-love. I
no
think that's
self-worth.
the biggest one.
Yeah.
Now I give myself a hug, at the end of every day. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
I'll be that person that I want to be, that I would want my partner to be or something. I now become that person.
This is
if you want a partner, by just saying as an example. So before we go deep into music and all that beautiful stuff we were just talking about, what was life like before music? What was you doing before music? And I did actually read that you were in recruitment.
I was.
Is that right?
I was.
Yeah.
So let's go back. So
let's get to know you. I want to get to know you.
Go back. So
what was it like growing up?
I was a very unhappy, rebellious teenager. No reason to be honest. Great parents.
Yeah.
Anything I really needed and wanted, I had privileged upbringing. I did.
Yeah.
I just didn't like myself. I didn't like a lot of the people I was surrounded with. I had bad friends.
Even though you had a good upbringing, who were you around?
Because
I was the same. Nice upbringing-ish, sort of. You know, everyone has their dramas, but the people that you're around that fuck with you, isn't it?
This is it. And, you know, like, being noticeably, I think, you know, different as well was like hard. I got bullied, but who didn't? Do you know what I mean? But I loved learning and I loved studying.
Yeah.
So I left kind of, you know, my home to go to uni to study philosophy.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Ilford, which is almost Essex.
Almost, yeah. You got the IG postcode.
I do, yeah. I'm IG1, baby. But yeah, like, yeah, it's just, you know, I'm still thankful where I grew up was very multicultural, and so I've grown up with an open mind and surrounded by people from all different backgrounds, which I think is really important to who I am as a person.
So when you say you're different, what do you mean?
Wasn't like girly, wasn't interested in getting my nails done, and wasn't none of that. And I think like kind of knowing very early on, but not even really knowing what it was, that like I liked men, but I also liked women.
Yeah. And
that being, you know, really not the right thing to be
at the time.
Yeah, because of you know, the culture and the demographic of Ilford, right? And you know, being like repeatedly told that was a really bad thing.
Yeah.
So that was hard. Then, you know, I'm half European as well. French. Yeah, I'm half French.
Do you speak French?
Oui, bien sûr.
My mum's fluent in French.
Yeah?
She's taught me all the bad words.
She taught you? Okay.
Can I say one?
Go on.
Okay, let me read this.
Can I say one? Yeah, go on.
It's really rude, apparently.
Okay.
Va tout fait enculé.
That's quite bad. That's not even a word. That's a whole phrase. Do you know what you told me? You told me to go fuck myself. Actually, I would actually say the literal translation to that is go get yourself fucked up the arsehole. That's what Jasmine Knight has just told me to do.
My mum taught me that. My mum is fluent in French, lived in France.
Love it.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, it's a great place. Great country. Not that I'm biased or anything, but...
So you're fluent in French yourself? Yeah. So is your mum...
Mumsy.
So she spoke... So you're bilingual?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
God,
Speak other languages too. Speak a bit of Spanish. Speak a little bit of Italian.
1 gram of cocaine? No, joking. Joking, sorry.
We got video evidence. Yeah, no, Jasmine.
Sorry.
That was good. No. As you can tell, guys, Jasmine Knight knows all the important things to say in foreign languages.
The last one was just a joke. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend anybody.
Yeah. But anyway, I love studying, innit? And then like I was always listening to my dad's Jungle and like vinyl collection.
Yeah.
So music was always there. Classically trained as well, so I played the violin.
Oh,
I played percussion as well, so I played drums. So I always had that. And then when I went to uni, I made my D&B pals. Like we were all drum and bass friends. So our weekends were traveling from Colchester to Fabric, spending 12 hours in Fabric, coming back. And then I stayed another year on. I was dead set that I was going to do my PhD.
Mm-hmm.
Did my master's.
What was you doing at uni?
Philosophy.
Wow.
Yeah, brain box. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was amazing. I loved it. Hard though. Very difficult.
Without sounding stupid.
Yeah, go on.
Philosophy
is the study of knowledge and wisdom and life, I would say.
Oh my God, that sounds incredible.
Yeah,
was
exactly.
it good?
It was good. It was very difficult.
Difficult in terms of...
like the level of like, we would read a lot of very old texts and people don't realise, I think, that a lot of like philosophy has a lot of like science and like isms and ideology. So the language is really technical as well as being quite... I think a lot of people that don't really know what philosophy is think it's like, oh, airy fairy, what is the meaning of... No, it's not like that. It's quite technical and difficult. And my master's was just really hard. And all my friends had left, so I was like, I want to earn money. Yeah.
So when you did the three years at uni.
I did, and then I did a master's.
Yep. And what was your like? Did you have a goal in mind?
I wanted to do my PhD. At that point.
But did you have like a job or something that you wanted to go for? No, you just wanted to...
I wanted to do the PhD, then I guess what I would have done would have been maybe be a lecturer, I guess, and taught philosophy at uni level maybe.
What other jobs do you get with that degree? What kind of... It's
one of them transferable skill jobs, isn't it? So people probably do marketing.
Transferable. Gifta, I love this already.
Do you know what I mean? Though, innit? Retrain, like, and all that. To teach RE, like, I don't know. I don't bloody know. Sales. Oh, recruitment. There you go. That's it. I went into recruitment. It was the only job that I could get. So I was still I'd finished my classes. I fell into recruitment and I fucking hated it from day one.
Don't you find it annoying that you do all that study, all those years of hard graft, and then you can't get a fucking job?
Yeah, I find it annoying.
And you're just like, what's the fucking point?
When
loans.
I've got but it made me. It was so much more than like the studying. Like I'm still like best mates with like a lot of my friends. I needed to get out of Ilford. I got to do that for 4 years. But then when COVID hit, I lost my first recruitment job, and like all I had was my four walls, my laptop, and my DJ decks. So I did what every bedroom DJ, every DJ in D&B, to be honest. The playing field got leveled, didn't it?
Yeah.
So I went online, and
so while you was at uni, you were still doing DJ.
A little bit. Like my housemate got DJ decks. And he was like, oh, you're like really good at skanking, like to D&B. So like that means you'll be a good DJ, the logic.
But I have seen some of your videos of you DJ and then it kind of does match.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate it. But it's that I like had to go on his decks and I loved it. So I bought decks of my own. And where we were at uni, right, was really close to Rough Tempo. Oh, so occasionally I'd go to Rough Tempo. I was rubbish back then. I was rubbish back then. But that's like nearly 10 years ago now. So I'm a lot better now, I think.
Sure you are.
Cut to an edit of me clanging.
So while you was at uni, you sort of discovered your passion for music?
I think so.
And then it started from getting on the deck?
I'll be honest with you, like it was kind of like just like a hobby that just got really out of hand. I don't think I realised then.
I just love that.
Do you know what I mean? It got out of hand.
I relate to it so much.
It got out of hand. Like I didn't want a record label. I didn't want any of that. I didn't even have a social media. Like me and my mate were pinging at Boomtown, and she was just sort of like looking at me like, you should upload some of your blends to Instagram. And I was like, okay, like so we did. That's literally, it just got out of hand. And then during COVID, I made like a Facebook page for people to like stream from, because that's what everyone was doing, streaming online and that. Yeah. And then like I met this boy called Louis, who was like always sending me like music and stuff, and he was like, do you realize I don't listen to people, but I listen to you? He was like, if you tell me this tune's good, I will go and I'll work on that tune.
Why is that? What was you
doing? I was just like saying to him, oh yeah, this tune's sick, or like, oh mate, send me more mixes, like what are you doing, like you're really talented, like da. And then he was like, have you thought about like making this like a bit of a thing because you're really motivating and whatnot? And I was like, never thought of it before, no. But then the label kind of happened.
Okay.
And now it's really out of hand now, isn't it? Now I think if I stopped, people would be a bit upset with me. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah.
So your label started because
my mate told me to do it, essentially, literally. Because my mate was like, you're good at motivating people and you've given me purpose. How lovely is that?
Nice.
Isn't that
That's
great?
beautiful.
I've actually just deeped that. Oh, bless you, Louis. I'm still friends with him.
That's really beautiful.
Yeah.
And he still does music?
Louis, yeah, but his laptop's been a bit... he's not made music in a while because he's having problems with his laptop. But he's one of the most talented people that like I know, and I've met so many other amazingly talented people. Dupree and Patrick, who you were speaking to at one point, who's in Austria. Zaid Vasco, who's based in Italy. I've signed music and worked with a producer in Tokyo, in Japan.
Wow,
I've got some in New Zealand, so I've been able to somehow motivate people all over the world, which has been really, really, really nice. And that's what I like, the fact that I've given people purpose.
Yeah.
And I've got a resident producer called Ominous, who is fantastic. Mm-hmm. And I got to know his music for a really great kind of minimal drum and bass label called Rebel Music. Okay. And I messaged him off hearing a few of his tracks on Rebel Music. And I said, listen, man, like I would love like to release some of your work and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And we played for Overview in Brighton in December, and he was there. He come down to play. And he said to me, I was on the verge of giving up and like packing it all in and just making this something fun I did every now and again until you messaged me.
Aww.
And honestly, he's so talented. I'm glad I did that. I think that's the most important thing, that like more than anything, like playing big gigs with Hospital, having my own music do well, like the fact that people have told me I've reignited a purpose for them and like made them not give up on themselves and their talent. I think that is like that's my legacy. That's my legacy though.
Yeah, but I think that's so important. I think that's the other beauty of what happens when you get older as well. You realise actually I wanna help people as well.
It's not about me.
You've been through shit, you've got through it, you come out the other side, so there's a way forward, and then you want to let everybody else know, and you're doing that through your record label.
I think like so many people live life for their annual leave and for pub work drinks, and I've been that person and my God, like, is it soul destroying? It makes you a horrible person, it makes you a bad girlfriend, a bad friend,
makes you selfish,
like materialistic, like all these things. And how lucky am I and yourself and other people that do music that even if we've got day jobs that we hate or things about our lives that we wish were different, we have purpose.
Exactly, yeah. And I always say to artists as well, when they say, I get a lot of messages asking for advice and ain't got money. They say, I ain't got money to do this, I ain't got money to do that. I said, just get a job, just get a side job, and just know that it's only going to be temporary. It's just there to help invest into your career, because you've got to invest in anything, not even just the music industry, in any career you want. You just got to invest in yourself.
You also need to look after yourself financially and like have have your own future security, which actually, I lost my last recruitment job 2020 into 2023, and it's been the best year ever. Like, to say I'm a full-time musician and dedicate, and the improvements I've made in production, the things my label's done has been like incredible. But like, bro, I've got no money. I'm going to be 30 this year. And like, I need to think about myself, my security. The label's getting bigger. it needs me to put more money in.
Yeah.
You know, if I want to drop a load of money up front on merch, I can't really justify that without a salary.
Yeah.
But we should be doing that now.
Yeah.
So actually, from September, I will be teaching primary school.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah, man. I'm not leaving music behind, but I'm making a decision for Gabs and for Gifta and Phase Records.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited because that means we'll be able to do merch again, you know. We've only ever done one round of merch. I've got so many ideas that I can't justify now with no regular income.
Yeah.
I don't want to just rely on takeovers. I want to throw our events again, you know, and book, you know, people like T.I. and things like that who've got these like massive fees. I want to be able to do that.
Yeah.
I want to be able to bring like an underground scene to London. Can't do that like with no money. And you know what else, Jasmine? I deserve to feel fulfilled in my life away from music. And I never had that in my adult life because I hated recruitment. And, you know, everything about me is D&B. It is the thing. Like, it's my life. I need something else. I need something else to think about and be passionate about. So, I can't wait. I'm going to teach little ones how to read.
Well done.
Can't wait.
That's so amazing. And will you enjoy that?
I hope so. It'll be hard. Teaching's not easy.
What age group are they in primary?
So I'd like year 4. So I think that's like 8 to 9 year olds.
Okay.
But it could be anything from 5 to 11. Really.
Okay.
So we'll see. I mean, will I enjoy it? I'll feel fulfilled. I'll have fulfillment. And that's the most important thing. You know.
Oh, well done you. Well done for being brave and owning up to that and realising that, you know, if you want this purpose to last, you know, there's other things that you've got to do.
Absolutely.
As well, Because like you was asking me, do I do music full time? Yes, I do, but I also run a video production company. Because as you know, music's up and down. It's either like, with me, it's either like there or it's just not. You know, it's never consistent. And I realised as well, I need something consistent. And then I also had passion. I also kind of like fell into videography as well. I do that with the company that I work for. And I've now really getting into fitness. I mean, I've always been to the gym, weight training and things like that. But I've just recently qualified as a indoor cycling instructor. So I now do
the spin classes.
Spin,
Yeah, go on.
You can't say spin though.
Oh, sorry.
It's a brand. No, you can say
it's a brand.
Yeah, but spinning is a brand, and it's like a whole new. It's like,
I didn't know that.
Neither did I until I did the indoor cycling course.
Yeah, that's cool then.
But now I do that at the gym, and I'm loving that. And then that's opened my mind up to like, maybe I want to do some well-being festivals and have the drum and bass there, but have it like clean and no alcohol and have meditation. And it's like having something else other than music, because when you're younger you think that's all I want to do is music, and that's true, that is my main passion. I will never ever not do music, but through the music journey more passions come, videography and
you know what as well, like what people I think like don't realise, maybe especially in D&B, is a lot of the people that are doing it full time are still doing, even if it's music related, they're doing other things. So they've got a Patreon that's really successful, that's bringing them in the money, or they're doing production lessons, or they ghost produce in another genre. Like I found out recently that Chase and Status co-wrote tracks off Rihanna's Apologetic album.
Oh, I couldn't believe that. I
Did you find that out the other day?
No, not the other day. I found last year. I think they reposted the same video, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
This is what I mean. Yeah. So like, you know, it's amazing. But like, this is what I mean. Like 9 times out of 10, genuinely, it is not just I DJ and make D&B full time. Like nine you need something else. They all do it. Like people like Turno does his stuff with his mental health now, and he had his like teaching platform. Trex, who I spoke with quite recently, he makes other genres. I think he was doing like an Afro beats thing recently with like an artist in South London. So they all do it. Like, you know, Molecular, who's a producer, and I think he's in Portugal, but his like Patreon, like, and you think the amount of work that would go into making samples and tutorials every month. I think people like have this like idea of what it's like.
Yeah.
The reality is far different.
Yeah.
And I'm only scratching the surface. Like, I'm not a big artist. I haven't broken through, you know, fully like in the way that I would like to. But the more I discover about the business, the way that it works, the more I meet people like yourself or, you know, these artists that I work with, the more I realize, yeah, like we are artists, but that's such a small segment of like who we are. T.I.'s got his own like merch company, doesn't he? He does like printing and like in like Norwich. So like you need your backups.
Yeah, and I think as you grow in life and as you evolve, your vision and your values and your ideas and your mindset changes, and through that, all these other things are possible.
I wonder as well if there's a part of I know that I not worry about it. That's the wrong word. But obviously we're women in a very well, it's a type of showbiz that we do.
Yeah.
And historically, showbiz hasn't been kind to women as they've got older. Obviously, we've got, you know, the women in their legacies, like the Incredible Storm, for example, you know, who've shown that we can do that. But realistically, now that more girls are coming through, which is amazing, you know, are we gonna start getting cancelled for like the younger, prettier ones? Is that gonna happen? Like, we don't know. Do you know what I mean?
I that has crossed my mind as well. You know,
did it cross your mind?
It's crossed my mind.
Because it would do as women, wouldn't it?
When will my time be up? Is my time going to be up? Because things are changing now as well, and I just think, are people going to just look at me and think, oh well, you know, she's a bit past it.
Weird,
we'll go for someone new.
Yeah.
But I try not to let it bother me.
Yeah. You can't.
Because I just think I'm just going to keep doing what I love. I've got enough emotional intelligence to say to myself, okay, you're starting to sound a bit shit now. Stop.
Is that because you think is that because your voice is going to sort of change and stuff as you get older and lose the power of it?
Yeah, I've seen it in, you know, in some singers, not all of them, but some singers you hear their voice goes. But that is like at you know, 70, 80 years old, probably. But yeah, you just it happens though as well, doesn't it? It just happens in all fucking industries, really. It's like women getting on a bit or whatever. I'm just gonna have a baby and start dropping her out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but you can do. I believe that you can do it all.
I believe you can do it all too.
Yeah, and I don't believe
it's up to you at the end of the day.
Yeah, and as long as you know who you are, and as long as you believe in yourself, you'll attract those people who believe in you as well and who don't give a shit about those things. And I think if you do care about those things, age, looks, you know, what's cool, what's not cool, what's fucking trending, then you're not my person.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. I agree. But you could even say that, like, sort of about the music, like, you know, for me, artists that have stayed on top of their game and on top of, like, the scene are the ones that, yes, their sound develops and changes a bit and they get inspired by, you know, whoever, but the core of it is unique to them.
Yeah.
You know, like Unglued is like a really good example. Like, I think like T.I. or like even some of the like old, you know, jump up dons like Annex.
Yeah.
You know, like there's a reason those guys stay doing what they're doing and at the top of the scene is because they're just themselves in the music that they make.
Yeah.
And this, I think it's like super, super important because we get like all the trends, they'll come and go, man. And like, if you try and make a tune that's like in trend, well, guess what? Like, you know, by the time that already comes out, there's going to be like 8 other bass noises that the young ones love. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the frog, like everyone loved the frog, but I think it's starting to die out a little bit, maybe. I don't know. But, yeah.
Do you follow trends with your music? I know you were just obviously saying that, but do you think when you're making music, do you ever think, oh, what's popular, what's cool?
I think I definitely get inspired to try to do those things from a learning perspective.
Yeah.
So like with the frog.
Yeah.
Like the frog noise, you know, is the way to use like formant filters, which is a specific sort of type of filter that you can make those sounds. And I enjoyed trying to replicate those because I learned so much about like filtering that I'd never really kind of explored before then. I love a foghorn.
Yeah.
Like that's my favourite trend, I think. Yeah. Like the foghorn. I still make foghorns. Yeah. Love Benny Hill, like people like that.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think so. Like even I think hope that people will listen to the music that my label puts out.
Yeah.
And though it's modern,
yeah,
I hope there's an element to it that will be timeless.
Yeah.
And that people will still play it in years to come. Like,
I think with music, you can tell just by listening to it, listening to the voice, listening to the music, that it's come from a place of passion and love. And I think that music will, and like you can hear that in your music, and you can see it in you. And I think just that alone will make it timeless.
I think, like, I've always said to like the artists that I work with, particularly maybe some of the ones that are a little bit younger than me, who can get in their heads sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, this isn't happening fast enough, or
yes.
you know, well, I started producing 6 months ago. Why can't you release this tune, Gabs? Like, or why are you telling me that I'm not like good enough yet? I go, right, listen. See all this. You need to have some time where you're not doing any music at all, because you need to miss it. You need to miss it, because when you miss it, you are going to remember that you do it because you love the music so much.
Yeah.
That's it. You need to be guided. In my opinion, the guidance, the motivation, the thing that keeps you disciplined has to be that you love the music. That needs to come before anything else. Yeah, cool. Like, everyone could get a bit of a buzz from playing a big show and having people screaming at them. Like, you feel like a little mini god up there sometimes, don't you? Like,
it doesn't last though, does it?
It doesn't.
As soon as you get off that stage and out the room.
Exactly. But, like, you need to be guided by the fact that you love the music.
Yeah.
And I think when that guides you, no matter how long your moment of fame lasts, or whether you're at the top or whatever, or any opportunity you have, whether it's you play to a pub to 10 people, you will just be grateful that you got to play some sort of little role in the story of drum and bass. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
I don't want it to flatline.
Yeah,
I want it to keep getting like bigger and better, but you know, if it never gets to what I would like it to get, I still got to do amazing things like this with you, or play hospitality on the beach and meet so many make friends, fall in love, all of this because of drum and bass.
Yeah.
Because I love music. Yeah. You know, if I just end up being a raver again, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. That's what I'm supposed to be. You know? Yeah. That's what I think anyway.
I totally agree with you, because I think some people can get in their heads too much, and their brains and thoughts get overactive, and they're just overloaded with shit, and you just think, whoa, slow down, and then they think, oh, I'm not doing this and I'm not doing that, so I'm not good enough. I need to be doing this, and then the passion goes, like you were saying. They don't appreciate it, and they're comparing themselves to everybody else. I should be doing this, I should be doing that, and then it just becomes, I don't know, it just becomes like more like this fame hungry sort of journey, instead of I'm doing this because I love it.
This is it. Like, I think a lot of people maybe don't always like realise how like long like it takes. I started my D&B career chase thing nearly 10 years ago.
Wow.
Like, and when I tell you 8 of those years were spent doing nothing, like DJing in my room, DJing in pirate studios with my friends, getting 10 plays on my mix on SoundCloud, you know, like maybe someone like Degs from Hospital recognised me because I was always going to hospital raves, not because you know I was an artist. And then it was only really in like the past 2 or 3 years where like some serious like momentum started to like happen.
Yeah.
Like I was just playing events.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, so you got to think that's 8 years that I was knocking at a door that wasn't opening.
Yeah.
And I look at some of these like people that have been doing it for 3 or 4 years, who have already played a festival, or who have done this or that, and I think, mate, like, you've done an incredible things so young. Don't worry. Don't worry. You keep on your path. You keep being determined. You keep being a good person. You keep loving the music. What is meant to happen for you in the scene will happen. Stop trying to rush it, man.
I've seen a lot of posts, you know, and people do like their big grand post, and you know they say, I've been in the industry 2 years, nothing's happening, I'm giving up. I think,
mate.
2 fucking years. You give it up. All right, fine. And that's what makes me realise as well. It looks easy being an artist. It looks easy being a DJ, and I think people just jump in and just like, yeah, I can do that. But it ends up it's more like a hobby or just a hobby for them. Whereas I think people who are in the industry, it's in their fucking blood. I mean, people just jump on it because they can. They got loads of money and it's all that kind of stuff. Think it's cool. And they start actually trying to make a career, and they're like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think it's another one though, isn't it? Like, you know, like you've hit the nail on the head. Like money and contacts, like, and then they want things to happen. And they've been doing it for all of about 2 minutes. They don't really know anything about like the struggle of an artist, or the history of our rave culture.
Exactly.
And whatnot. And listen, no disrespect, if that's the way you're making things happen for you, fair enough. Because if I could, I would do it too. And we all would. But like, you know, it takes a lot more than that. A lot more than that. You need to have a backbone, man. I've had no more than I've had yes.
Absolutely.
Like, and I think I'm now that I'm a boss. And I'm saying no.
Why did you get it out? You don't like saying that.
I like it when other people say it. Sorry, boss. I like it when Patrick calls me boss, or like Hannah, or like, but like, you know, I guess
you
I
see
that
it as a family, I guess. Rather
my
than
kids.
like,
they're my 13 kids. They are like, they are. It's gonna have to. I mean, it will change when I'm teaching. I won't be available 24/7. You know,
you'll still be available. Cool. So
our babies, man. Like, I'm very, very protective. Of them, like, especially like, I think like Hannah's like the one that I'm like most protective of, because she's so young and talented and like, you know, vulnerable. She's got good people around her, innit? But like, I'm very protective of Hannah. Very protective. Ecstatic.
So who's Hannah?
Ecstatic. So she's getting bigger for her vocals and DJing. And she's been number 1, you know. She's been number 1, been on UKF.
Amazing.
Yeah, she's done amazing things. She's doing amazing things, and she'll still get in her head sometimes.
Yeah.
We all do, though.
Yeah. I've definitely got to a point now where I'm just like, whatever happens. I'm still going to be doing music. I'm still going to be writing, collaborating. I've still got loads of plans. I've just given up the specific details. I've gone back to that, and I'm just doing it because I love it and I'm enjoying it.
That's the most important thing. I think sometimes as well, where you see people who want it so badly, and like, but then you also like, but do you want the like what you perceive to be this like glamour and fame, or do you want to do what it actually takes, and the sacrifice, by the way, like,
I see that. I see that, and people are like, I want it so bad, and it's like, oh, okay, do you? I've never said to anybody, I want it so bad. It's like, what image are you trying to show you're passionate? It's like, you don't need to say those. I've never heard anyone who's desperately passionate about the industry say, I want it so bad.
Just work.
That's it. You just get your head down, you do it. Yeah.
You see it as the emotional release that it can be for you. Like, let it be cathartic, and like, you know, love openly. Don't tear anyone else down. Yeah. Like, just, you know, and just remember as well, like, my mate Clueless said this to me recently. Shout out Clueless. Very, very wise.
I think I know Clueless.
You must do.
Rings
UKF, a bell. Brand assistant at UKF. Very good
I don't know her, but she's
young.
on my...
She's very young. She's young, you know, she's 24.
Oh, wow.
But, wise head on her shoulders. And she said to me once, when I was getting in my head recently, she said to me, you know, like, the opinions literally don't matter. And she was like, think about how many opinions you have about anything in the world.
Yeah.
Or how many opinions we have about anything in the world. It doesn't affect the trajectory of that person.
Yeah.
And I went, bruv, you are right. Innit?
Like both moments.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's an important thing for people to realise is so what? Like, so what if someone don't like you?
Yeah.
Just be you.
Yeah. I think people are just so set on trying to look good these days and not actually be good. Just want to look good.
Yeah, worried about reputation.
Yeah, just want to look good, you know, just do everything to look good, and then as soon as that camera's down, fucking miserable.
Yeah, this is it as well,
not
isn't
the
it?
person they are. Like, even artists, I've met artists at gigs, and I just think their social media, they're all lively and they're all bubbly, but then in real life, it's just like fucking dead behind the eyes.
That's
I'm
really
like, oh man, what's really going on for you? Sort yourself out.
It must be tough to like really sit with yourself when you're that busy. Like, you know, you go and give it your all on stage for like an hour or whatever, and then maybe you got 2 hours to sleep. You go in and then you've got a week of recording or week long of producing or your day job or whatever.
Or you could be flying different countries.
Exactly. Like, it must take a toll on your body, and if it's taking a toll on your body, it's taking a toll on your
100%, yeah.
I think more artists need to speak about the realities of things like that.
Absolutely.
Simula's really good at it though. I don't know if you follow Simula on social media, he's very good at like kind of being quite honest about, you know, the physical and mental toll that it can take sometimes. And he's also very, like, I think a few times, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think a few times he's even like said like, I can't do the gig, like I need rests. And I think like good on you, man, because it's a strain and like people need to know that sometimes it can be difficult.
Yeah, well, I know a lot of DJs as well, and sometimes when I see them, I'm like, mate, you look haggard, you look tired. They're like, what's wrong? Oh, you know, I flew to this gig and flew that, back on the same day, then went here, then went there. I'm like, don't you like, if I was a DJ and I was, I don't know, somewhere in, I don't know, Germany or something, I'd book out a week. So I'd have a time to explore the country and get to know the area. But they're like, no, just went to the airport, went to the gig, hotel, airport, or whatever. And I just think that is painful. Different time zones. I just think it is really important for people to be honest and not always just try and look like the amazing artist that's so cool.
This is another thing
that destroys people.
It does, and your health, like your physical well-being, isn't it? Like I think it was Simula again who said about how it's hard to have a good diet when you're on the road because most of the time you're not eating like that home-cooked fresh meal. It's just these little things that you don't think about. You know what I mean? We're not making R&B. We don't have the 5-star Michelin chef following us around. You know? Do you know what I mean? Cooking. Do you know what I mean? No, we're lucky if we're stopping off at Tortilla. You know what I mean? Like, but it's good. You know what? I've done a lot of bloody moaning about it, but I love what the scene has done for me. I'm the bestest mates ever. Met loved people, you know, and done some really amazing things. But I do think that like there is, you know, a huge strain mentally and physically that, you know, definitely needs to be talked about.
I don't think it's moaning. Like you said, I think it's just you're in it yourself. You know what it's like, and it's just important to also show that side of it.
I think so, man. Especially for like the young ones.
Yeah.
You know, when we were talking, it's kind of like going back to what we were saying about how I didn't know who I was at like 25 or whatever.
Yeah.
If I was 20, I know who I was at 21, right? And if I was doing what I'm doing now in D&B at 21.
Fuck.
I would have a serious drinking problem.
Drug problem.
This serious drug problem. I probably wouldn't be as well respected for my technical ability because I would have probably been doing my sets absolutely blah, and I wasn't as good back then as I am now. You know, could I have embarrassed myself maybe in front of people who I really respect, like Chris Goss or, you know, whatever? Would I be able to stay calm for my artists when they're not feeling calm. I don't think so.
Would you be giving people purpose?
Exactly.
Like you do now?
Yeah, exactly. And so, like, yeah, I'm glad it didn't happen for me back then.
Yeah.
You know?
I could agree on that. I just think, like you said, there's a time for everything. And I just think if I was doing the stuff that I was doing... I wouldn't have been able to do it. That's why it never happened. I had to go through my, I guess, emotional journey first. I had to learn to like me. I had to learn to love who I am. I had to learn who I am, and I had to be on that journey of not letting my past control me. And I think if I had that mindset now, I'd just be I'd still be a mess.
You know, like, there's been a lot of talk recently that, like, more needs to be done to support people who come out of reality TV shows and then their life kind of
Which
flips.
is instantly. Yeah.
Or, like, more help for, like, child actors and things like that. I think we need that in D&B.
Yeah.
You know, because there are some kids whose lives are, like, changing.
Changed instantly,
You know, get picked up by, like, one of these big labels and suddenly
chucked
you're
into
touring.
the deep end.
You're touring. But because it's dealt with quite differently, you've got control over your social media and, like, all of this. And, yeah, so I think, I definitely think that, you know, like, call it the pastoral side, where we're, like, looking after each other spiritually, mentally.
Pastoral side? I've never heard of that.
I think that's what we call it in school. I might be wrong, but we're like the care systems.
Okay.
Essentially, I think we need that more.
Yeah,
I think, you know.
I agree. I do. I know Euphonique, she's got like a mentorship program down in Bristol, and I think she helps guide her students as well. I've been thinking about doing mentoring as well, but it would be more of that emotional side rather than, you know, like I guess I could give advice and things on music and stuff, but I really want to just help people emotionally because I know what it's like to be stuck in those stages. So I think that would be really... Sorry, I'm having like moments here.
See.
You know, like, you're saying that, and I'm like, oh yeah, that'd be good. Yeah.
But
like,
it's needed though.
Yeah.
There's a gap for that, and you'd definitely be good for it. I think.
Thank you.
With your wisdom, and you've seen the whole breadth of it all, haven't you? Really,
Yeah.
and you've seen it from, you know, the female perspective and a vocalist.
Yeah.
You know, and like that's another like whole kind of, you know, thing that doesn't get talked about a lot. We always think about the DJs and the producers, right? The vocalists too.
Yeah.
Like, and you're like, God, bro, you are up there straining your voices, you know, for an hour and a half, and you have to be the energy of the set. The DJ doesn't have to be all like, you do though.
That does make a difference though when the DJ is got full of energy.
Oh, it does. Yeah, it does.
When they're up there, just like,
Yeah.
Them ones, you're just like, you're not enjoying it. I'm not gonna fucking enjoy it. When they're like, fuck
yeah. That's me. I'm a little jack in the box.
Yeah. When it's genuine, but I feel like sometimes when I've seen DJs play, I feel like there's a fake energy. I don't know if you've noticed that.
I
just think, I'm not feeling that you're feeling it.
You're putting your hand up because you think you have to.
Yeah,
like you've done this like 6 times now.
But there's nothing else. It's just like, it's like they got like a little instruction book on what DJs should do. Put your hand up now. Oh yeah. Get on the mic and go 1, 2, 3, yeah.
Wow.
Sorry.
Put your hand up now. Gun fingers,
Yeah, gun fingers. Screw face. Yeah. Spin around, yeah.
Oh, it's true though. But like for the vocalists, like you guys are front of stage. You're like the receptionist. Do you know what I mean? And like you have to be presentable.
Welcome.
Yeah, you are though.
Yeah.
You gotta be presentable.
Yeah.
All times you have to have the energy there.
Yeah, you gotta be on it.
Do you know what I mean? If I'm if I'm not feeling well, or if I've got a sore throat, not fucking cares if I've got a sore throat. But you know, if you guys do, it's all there, like exposed, isn't it?
You're on show, yeah. I'm just thinking back to times when I've like been watching MCs or vocalists, and you can tell when they're not feeling it. You can tell when they're like, oh fucking hell, get me off this stage, and it kind of like you pick up on it, and you're like, oh man,
It's
excited to see you.
I reckon it's probably more like difficult to deal with than like the DJ, because you are that front and centre, isn't it? Yeah. There's no, you can't hide.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just thinking back now as well, I remember the first few times I was doing events and things like that. It's fucking scary when you first do it. Well, obviously once you do it over and over again, you get used to it, you get comfortable, you learn to play with the audience and things like that. But when, it is like, hello, this is me, seeing everything.
There's like little things as well. Like, you know, let's say if I've had like a glass of Coca-Cola and I'm a bit burpy, like, I'm okay. But like,
just move the mic.
Yeah, but what if it's like mid-lyric?
Yeah, then you're just fucked.
Exactly. Like you everything about the vocalist front and stage has to be like on point, like 100% of the time. Yeah. Me, if I've got an awkward itch and the decks are high enough, I can deal with my awkward itch. If I got a wedgie, I can deal with my wedgie.
Farting.
Yeah, but you can. The vocalist can do that.
We might go back into the DJ though.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, fair. There's all these little things that people don't think about, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like if the vocalist needs to fart.
Maybe we should start a mentoring course on
what for how bad what to eat and what not to eat before we go on stage. To be fair though, do you know what? Yeah. So like this was my like busiest kind of like summer. The summer that's like just gone. I'd like had more gigs than I'd like ever had, and like
well done.
Thank you very much.
Amazing.
Thank you. But obviously, so I'm signed to like Clinic Talent, the booking agency.
Okay.
And you have like your rider, don't you?
Yeah.
And like, cause I wasn't like really getting booked at all, I was like, oh, you know, if I have like a bottle of wine that I can like take home, that's great. So fuck it, I have a bottle of wine on my rider. But then obviously, like when I was getting like booked more, I was always getting my bottle of wine. And then like I had like be a bit like nervy or whatever, so I take my bottle of wine on stage with me, and the bottle of wine would always be finished by the time I got off stage.
Because of you?
Because of me.
Oh, so you got to think that other people were nicking it.
You got to think that I was finishing a bottle of wine in an hour. That's not healthy.
Yeah, no.
And then exactly, if you've got multiple gigs a weekend, you know,
all that night,
you know, it's not very good. It's not sustainable. Yeah. So like, I think it was like towards like the back end of the year just gone, I kind of just said, you know what, if I want to drink at these events, I will pay for myself to have a beer. Yeah. I'm not getting it for free because it's just going to go unhealthy. Yeah. You know, and it's just like these little things that like you think about, and like a lot more artists now are like going like completely sober. Yeah. You know,
I am now as well.
Are you completely?
Be honest. Yeah, when I'm doing shows and stuff, I would always ask for like a bottle of Prosecco, and then I'd, you know, when I'd get there, I'd have some. I've had some Prosecco, then I'd have someone else's drinks, and then
before I know
it, I'm fucking pissed, and I'm on stage looking a mess, you know, making, you know, not like you said, there's people there that I'm like respect, or I want to show that I'm good at what I do, but I'm there like a fucking mess, not knowing what I'm doing, looking sloppy. Everyone else is doing shitloads of cocaine and whatever, but you know, the alcohol makes you all sloppy, and the eyes are on you. And I just got to a point where I was just like, I'll keep doing this, and it's not cool, it's not who I am, and I just, it's not worth it. Because I've had issues with drink in the past, and I've never ever been able to, you know, just have the one. I can now, because I'm in a different place, I can just have one or two and be fine with it, but I've always had issues with alcohol. So when it got to my rider, I'm like, fucking sick.
Yeah.
I'll have this and I'll have that, thank you. And then, just a mess. Sorry, I think I went off on one there, but totally sober.
But it's. I think that's right. But we're working at the end of the day as well.
If you want to have a drink, have it afterwards. You set, have it afterwards.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it just goes back to, again, doesn't it? Like, just that whole... We work in the party scene. Like, at the end of the day, we work in, you know, showbiz, party scene. Like, you know...
Those things are kind of normal.
They are.
Doing whatever. And I'm like, no judgment to anybody. But sometimes things that I've seen as well, I'm like, oh, wasn't expecting that from you. Or okay.
Yeah.
Pretend I didn't see that.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just, you know, you got to look after yourself, man, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know, especially as well, like, be careful what you do abroad, innit? There's one thing getting in trouble here, but, you know, do you want to get in trouble in a country where you don't speak the language? Like,
absolutely,
do you know what?
not.
Or where it's going to be, like, more tricky to, like, solve the problem? Like, you know?
Luckily, I haven't had any issues like that myself, but I've heard of some stories. And
I can imagine.
Oh, God. No, I'd never, ever want to be in that situation.
I can imagine. And it's difficult as well, I think, especially with, like, drink, because it's so wide. Number one, it's legal, and like number two, like you know, everyone's an adult.
Yeah.
And like things like that. But like, like I spent most of the summer like pissed as a newt, like from like one gig to the next. And like I think the one that really made me realise was when I played Noisily Festival. So I'd just done hospitality on the beach.
Yeah. 5
sets I'd had there.
Wow.
One of them was my like label takeover, which was amazing. But I was knackered in it. Like, you know, I stayed on site as well, so
mingling really as well.
Didn't sleep. Like, all my friends came, so it was party. It was awesome. Never take that away. I was back in London for 10 hours. And then drove up to Noisily Festival to play Noisily Festival.
Where's that?
Night in Grantham.
Oh, okay.
Which is in...
How far is that in hours?
Quite far, innit?
More than 2 hours?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like north, innit?
I don't know. I've never heard of that place.
Where, you never heard of Grantham? It's where...
I pretended like I did. I was like, oh.
It's where Noisily Festival is, isn't
Oh,
it?
okay.
Up north somewhere, man. Leicestershire?
Leicester?
We are intelligent people, innit? Like, we just know the important stuff.
Yeah.
But this is it, innit? Like, I'd not slept for like a week. I'd obviously...
Drinking.
Yeah, and I'd been drinking all week. And then was at home for 10 hours, so didn't sleep then. Drove up to Noisily Festival. My set was like at like 2 or 3 in the morning, something like that. So then...
Oh, painful.
But then what did I do? I went on stage with my bottle of rosé, got off stage, and I'd finished my bottle of rosé. And I was like, yo, I am tired.
Yeah.
I'm now drunk again.
Yeah.
And like, I was like, I can't keep doing this.
Yeah.
Like, I'm 20, at the time I was 28, but I was just a bit like, this is like, you know, if this keeps happening, this is not good. Yeah. And like you're setting a really bad example to the rest of Phase Records, and like
you never know which way it can go as well, you know, it might just turn into something, you know, bad. Like you get to a point where you just have to have your bottle of wine. Yeah. Or you're gonna go nuts.
Exactly. And I definitely don't want to be that person. Yeah. So I put like the stop there, but we're all human, and it was happening without me even realising. Yeah, because it was just part of my rider. Yeah. So it was just I didn't realise. I know. But it was happening. You know what I mean?
It's crazy, but also alcohol is just such an accepted poison in our culture, and I remember when I was at uni and I was trying to stop drinking. I went to uni quite late, so I was like 25 or something when I went to uni, and everyone else was younger than me, and I'd get pressured into having a drink. I'd be like, I don't want to drink. And I'm like, oh, come on, don't be boring. It got to the point where the pressure was so bad on nights out, I'd have to get a sparkling water in a champagne glass with a strawberry, so they'd fucking leave me alone. Yeah. Wow. And I'm like, you got a drink? Yeah, well done. And then they'd fuck off. I think after all that pressure, like, there's nothing else. Like, there was no reason. You just wanted to feel better about yourself by not being the only fucking drunk. But yeah, it's weird just that people just like, if people think something's wrong with you as well. You don't drink, oh, you're right.
Yeah, you're okay,
Are you pregnant? Yeah. No. What's going on then? Why are you not drinking? It's fucking poison, bruv. I don't want it. This is it, man. It ruins my mental health. The hangovers the next day is not worth it. It's expensive, and it's just not good.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's easy to fall into those traps. What I was going to say.
No, exactly, because it is just part of like our society and like our culture, isn't it? Like, this is what I was telling you, isn't it? Like, it was happening right under my nose. I'm a pretty self-aware person.
Yeah.
You know, like, I think I've got really good mates around me that, like, tell me if, like, you know, oh, Gab, blah, blah, blah. Like, certainly I would do that for my friends.
Yeah.
But it was happening in front of my face. I was doing it to myself.
Yeah.
And I didn't even realise it
Yeah.
until, you know, that time in Noisily when I was like, okay.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Problem.
Fuck. Yeah, problem. Or, like, something that could be a very big problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Reflecting on that now, I know you said it was just sort of happened. What do you think that was? Do you think it was just being part? It was simply just it being offered to you and given to you.
Yeah, you're excited. You feel like a bit of a rock star. You know, like you're playing abroad. You're playing all these festivals you dreamed about, and like you think, oh, I'm just gonna have like one crazy summer. Like it's okay.
It's a celebration.
Yeah, you're around your friends, so you feel safe. Yeah. You know, and like you just get swept up in it, don't you? And like felt like a bit of a mini king in a way. You know, like just got swept up. Yeah. Swept up in the glamour of it, really.
That happens as well. I think it's just you get caught up in it, but like you said, you know, as long as you're aware of it, enjoy the moments. You don't have to go crazy with it. Just enjoy the moments, and then just know that that's just a moment. And you come back to reality.
Just like you just need to have that self-awareness, though, don't you? Like, you know, just think to yourself. Last 3 sets, I do a bump before my set. It's not good then, is it? You're making a habit. Yeah. You know, like, can I go on stage without my bottle? Yeah. Like, do I care if I don't get given my rider? Yeah. Like, you know.
Ask those questions
ask
to yourself,
you know.
And like, if it's like no, then there's probably...
This is it. Yeah. I mean, like, obviously we're not those kinds of levels of like fame or whatever, but like let's take lessons off Liam Payne. Yeah. You know, let's take lessons off, you know, what's happened, like, you know, to these child celebrities and like things like that, because, you know, they probably would tell you as well, like, it was just happening, like they don't even realise it. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, we're all the same at the end of the day in that regard, and it can happen to anybody. Do you know what I mean?
So true. So I hear a lot of people say, like, we just got to have one beer, you know, to go on stage. Just have one. That's all right. And I think now, before I'd be like, oh yeah, definitely you should have one. Yeah. But now I'm just like, I don't need one. Yeah. I don't need one. Yeah. I'm happy. Yes, I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm going to turn that into excitement. You know, I've been on doing this long enough to know how to control the energy within me. I don't need a drink.
Isn't it nice to get to that place? Yeah. Like, it's not even in like an arrogant way, but like when people like come up to you and offer you a drink and they're being friendly and they're being polite, and that's great. Yeah. But you can actually, like, you know, turn around and go, you know what, like, I'm not drinking. Yeah. And there's such power in that self-control.
I feel so empowering. Yeah. Afterwards, you're like, you just said no.
Yeah, like, exactly. Yeah, and then before you know it, you've done the whole night, and you haven't even had a beer. Yeah. And you've loved it, and you've got more energy the next day, and you can go again. Yeah. You know?
And then you're getting the calls the next day from people going, oh, I'm feeling so fucking hanging.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm just a bit tired. Yeah, exactly. I'm a bit tired. It's even like quitting like smoking cigarettes. Like I've smoked cigarettes since I was like 14. I ditched those just before my 29th birthday.
Well done.
I know. And I thought that I would find that a lot harder than I did. I think I was just ready to kind of just be like, you know. And I don't think I'll ever start again either. Cause I can be out. I can have a drink and I won't want to smoke. I can be around it now. Like. My friends that smoke smell like ashtrays again, so I know that I'm rid of it. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, well done. That's such a fucking tough one to go. And I think you're right in saying that when you're ready, and your mind is with you, and you just do it, don't you?
Exactly. Yeah. Well, definitely. Like, you know, if Gifta had been given all this at 21. Yeah. I don't think it would have been this way now, I don't think. Yeah. You know? Maybe you could say, oh, you know, cut yourself some slack. Maybe you would have had the realisation. No, I knew who I was at 21. Even if I had the realisation, I probably wouldn't have cared.
You wouldn't have acknowledged it.
You're invincible, innit? Yeah. Like, when you're that age. And then now you realise, actually, no. But yeah.
Just going back to your label a little bit. What was it like starting a label and learning how to run a label when you hadn't even, when you weren't even in the industry?
Yeah, it's hard, wasn't it? Like, for starters, like, you know, everybody that I could possibly emulate was a man.
Yeah.
Or now that I'm in the business side of D&B more, I realise how many amazing women actually do run a lot of stuff behind the scenes. Like, shout out Amy Jane and like Whiskey Kicks and all these amazing women that do a lot behind the scenes. But so I felt very exposed. And I was aware that I didn't know a lot. Again, I was like quite a bit younger, so I also didn't like that I didn't know, so I used to pretend that I knew. Okay, do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I got mentored by Hospital Records, who do three mentorships every year. They do it, and one of them's the business mentorship, which is for like a brand or a label. Yeah. And it came at exactly the right time, because it came when we were actually gonna be a proper label and release music.
Yeah.
And they taught me like everything that I needed to. I had meetings with legal, about contracts, about publishing, about things like sync. I had meetings with promotion, marketing, events, finance, merch. I got to learn from the best.
Everything.
Yeah, exactly. Shit. Had multiple like A&R meetings with Chris Goss, which I think was so instrumental for me to understand, like, why is a song a good song, or why is a banger a banger, or like, I would bring him tunes and he would say to me, this should be the focal point of the tune, but there's so much going on in the tune that you can't focus on this. And like, it just made me, I think it made me a lot more well equipped, and it just came at the right time, because that's when everything started to become really real, when we did do like the proper label stuff. I still make mistakes, absolutely.
Of course, you're human, and you're always going to learn. Even at the top of your game, you're not going to know everything. So
yeah, exactly. And like, I'm excited to see how, as my artists develop, the sound of the label develops, because I've kind of resigned to the fact that actually the label sound is actually up to my artists, really. The artists that are signed to us, who are our residents, as their sounds develop, that's what's going to develop Phase Records, which I think is really exciting. And
can I just say, it's really like making me happy listening to you talk, because about your label and your artist, because I don't know, I've not massively come across record labels that truly care about their artists, and artists who have got record labels, it's like they just push their own stuff and give their own stuff like a maximum push, but everybody else is just like, oh yeah, so it's really,
no, thank you.
Good looking at you and listening to you speak about that.
Like, I think I am the face of my label.
Yeah.
I think that's a lot down to my personality, and and the fact that I care about my label more than I care about Gifta and like things like this. But like, it is a team, and they're all important, and they all play a vital like role in keeping the machine running and keeping me going. Like, I need them. I need them.
You need each other.
Yeah, exactly. But. And like, I'll never like be exclusive. Like, I'll never say to Patrick, for example. Now, if Patrick turned around and said to me, I only want to release on Phase Records, I'd be like, if that's what you want, great. We're going to look after you. It's going to work for you. But that's not Patrick's dream wasn't Phase Records. Zyde's dream wasn't Phase Records. Charlotte's dream wasn't Hannah's dream. If they want to release on Hospital, if they want to aim to release on Critical, I want that for them.
Yeah.
I want them to do everything they could want to do in and outside of Phase. What we provide is a home.
Yeah.
Somewhere you can always come back to.
Yeah.
Somewhere that's a safe space. It's another thing that I say. If something's annoyed you, or you're upset, or you've seen something, I don't want to open up my phone and see you ranting about it on social media.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear from this person or that person that you've been in the green room running your mouth.
Shit,
you tell me, you call me, or you put it in a group chat and we will dissect it together.
Yeah.
This is your space. Like, you know, and I think that's really, really, really crucial. Or
Absolutely.
I don't know. They don't understand a contract.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guess what? You're gonna, because your first contract's gonna be with Phase Records, and we're gonna sit and we're gonna talk through it, and you're gonna understand it, and then you'll have something to compare to, and then you can understand and you can have those conversations. It's very important. I just want to be like that place that's gonna just look after him, because he's bloody lonely, you know. Lonely. It's hard. And that's a difficult position to be in, whether you're making music or anything in life or any career, is to feel alone or not have the support system, or, you know, feel like you can't ask someone for help when you don't understand something.
Yeah.
Like, this is rights to music that we're dealing with for some people who are like 20 years old, who don't realise what they're signing away forever, you know? And so... yeah, like, that's the most important part of it, is just looking after him, really. Just looking after him. But they do the same for me, man. Like, you know, on personal level, I've been through breakups, and I've been like, oh, I'm never fucking signing music again. They gone, what the fuck you on about? Like, yeah, you are. Get up. You know, you're amazing. And it works both ways, man. Like, it works. But they're brilliant people, you know. Great kids.
That's so good to hear. I wish all labels were like Phase Records, or they had owners like you.
Stop it. You don't know, because then I wouldn't be special.
That is very true. Or maybe you had the same values. Not everyone was the same as you. If they had the same values.
Yeah.
Not you.
Do you know what, though? Like, it's really interesting you say that, because now that some people that I know, not just Phase Records artists, but, you know, friends of mine who are producers, who will tell me these things that happen, like, with, like, other labels. And it could be something as simple as, like, they're still asking for artwork. Or they have no idea about the promotion.
About the release or
anything, exactly. Or they haven't been given the pre-save link. Or just, like, these little things, and you just think, what? Or, like, the tune doesn't get uploaded to SoundCloud.
Like, fucking shocking.
Like, what, like, why are we being careless with this? Like, because, like, for me, like, fundamentally what it is it's my name on Company House. This is where all my time and all my money goes into, and all my care and all my energy. Fucking bet your life I'm gonna do it properly. Why aren't I don't get it.
I don't know. So I don't know if some people just lose. I don't know. Again, I don't know if it's just something that looks good for people. I don't know. But
do you think that's what it is? How it looks for them as the individual? I do wonder about that. You know.
Yeah. Well,
do you want the brand because you think it's going to boost your solo career? Why have the brand?
From my experience, that's what it looks like on the outside. It just looks like they just want it to make themselves look good and to make themselves
give themselves
important
and give themselves opportunities and have their little dictatorship.
Weird, which is fine, but and if you're gonna have other artists on as well, then do it fucking properly. Don't just have other artists on and then, you know, just think you know, this will kill the time.
Release independently then. Can you know, just do that. Release your music independently rather than, I don't know, just like have this whole brand and like
don't run it properly.
It's
weird, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, but like I also think, maybe they haven't been taught how to do it. Do you know what I mean? Maybe they don't know.
Be honest about that and fucking learn.
Yeah.
If you're gonna send someone a contract, just fucking go on Google and just check what should be in a contract quickly or something. Do you know what I mean? So you've got some sort of knowledge.
I think as well, like if someone hit me up and was like, "Yo, I want to start a record label. Can you help?" You know, I've done this several times. I've literally turned around and I said, "I can.
Yeah.
I want you to write down all your questions on a piece of paper. We're gonna jump on Zoom and I'm gonna go through every single one of them. Like I'm gonna help you. Like, but I do think people want to help. I think people don't ask, but I think people do want to help. If you're an artist, then you don't know how to tune your kick drum, I can guarantee there's a producer, as long as they've got the time, that would love to help you.
Yeah.
You know, and I think, like, I'll help anyone that needs a hand. The worst, that I say to everyone, the worst that's ever going to happen if you ask me is I'm going to tell you that I don't have the time.
Yeah.
That's the worst that's going to happen.
Yeah.
And then in that case, that's just not now.
Yeah.
It's not no.
Just not right this second, but I'll let you know in a week or something. Yeah.
This is it.
Oh, that's really good to hear.
People need to ask for help, man.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah, but there's a little bit of a shame in there as well by asking for help because it looks like you don't know what you're doing, but I think it's important.
You know what? In some cases, I still don't really always know what I'm doing.
You're never gonna know everything, are you?
Yeah.
You never even just life, isn't it? There's just always something to be learned.
There's wisdom in that, though, isn't there? Like, you know, the older I get, the more I realise I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
yeah. You just, I know shit.
I don't know fucking nothing. I just like know my own name. But no. Oh yeah, the label's great. Like, I would sacrifice everything Gifta was doing for it. To be honest, I'd rather keep putting out their music than ever do anything.
Yeah.
Really.
Oh, that's so good to hear. Now, what is scatimal?
What is scatimal?
Yeah. Is that right?
It's 2 words.
Am I saying it right?
Scatimal.
Yeah. Oh, okay, I got it right. Yeah.
Right. It's actually just 2 words that we say a lot in D&B that are meshed together: scatty and minimal.
Oh, okay.
It's a compound word.
And this is your genre.
I mean, is it mine though? I mean, like
you created it, didn't you?
I wouldn't say I created. Did I though? It's just 2 words that are like meshed together. Are you telling me nobody else has done that?
Well, yeah, but you've done this one.
Yeah, okay, maybe. Yeah. So I'll tell you how it come around. Actually, the word scatimal was I was with a group of mates years ago. I think before COVID, you know, in Pirates. So when Phase was like still called Elevation, I think, and we were just that community that was having people DJ online and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was with a bunch of people in a Pirate in Wembley. Probably had a bit to drink, whatever. And we were just sort of like, as you do. And we were just sort of talking about like what like the sound would kind of like be for like the label and like what that sound is that like we love. Yeah. And I was like, oh, you know, like I don't think I would do like minimal D&B that's just like the sub bass and the drums. But I don't think I would like occupy super heavy like neuro. It'd be like somewhere in the middle, or like maybe it would be near neuro funk, but a more stripped back or like minimal version, like you know, like scatty minimal, like scatimal.
Oh,
yeah, that's how it come about. But like didn't like the other was it the other day? The other week, this I talked to this producer based in Nottingham called T28. He sent me a screenshot of somebody in a group chat that didn't follow me, didn't follow Phase Records, but had like put like a mix in like this drum and bass group chat and being like, oh, like my scatimal mix. Yeah. And I was like, of course people are putting the words scatty and minimal together. It's just 2 words you say in D&B, but I think it's been like associated with me because I really kind of like push that as like, I can't think of another way to describe the music of my label.
Yeah,
like
other than that.
Stripped back when it's heavy, but scatty when it's minimal. You know? I think every subgenre has scatimal within it. I think, you know, that dark mood that's kind of stripped back. You can have a roller in there. You could have a jungle track in there. Yeah. You could have a liquid track in there. You know, just that like heavier minimal sound or that little lighter on the heavy. That's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, scatimal. Do you think it's a funny word? Scatty and minimal.
Scatimal.
How do you know about that word? Did you hear me talking about it on like my podcast or something?
No, but I'm doing a podcast now and I have to know a little bit about my guest.
Yeah, you research me, yeah. Might be in my bio. Maybe that's where you read it, I don't know.
Oh, like where in your bio? Where was it? Oh, I can't remember. But then I typed it in because I was thinking, oh no, am I that fucking out of touch? I don't know what fucking scattermom is. And then it came up in the Urban Dictionary and it said it was a genre created by Gifta. I was
So
like,
that was Patrick, yeah. So Patrick has been trying to get scattermom in the Urban Dictionary for like a few months. Yeah, so he was creating loads of different accounts, right? And then in Brighton, we discovered that it had like happened. He'd managed to like get it done. And then like now, I don't know if there's like a backlog, but they keep getting accepted. So now there's like 7 different definitions, all written by Patrick. It's like on the Urban Dictionary. Oh, that's so funny. I'm going to have to tell him you said this. Oh, that's good.
So I was like, oh, I'll bring that up on my podcast.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, scattermore. Scatty but minimal. Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Oh,
we love that. We love that.
Gifta, thank you so much for coming on. I can't believe time has run out.
Yeah.
I'm really annoyed because I feel like I could have another hour with you.
Absolutely. Well, maybe we'll do this again after you've had
Definitely.
We'll do an honest catch up or something. What
Oh
we'll
wow,
do.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Season 2.
Oh, I think, you know what? I just think it'd just be good to have people back anyway, just in general, because, you know, as we've spoken about, things evolve, careers evolve, and we kind of haven't finished our chat now.
Yeah, I know.
These are the timings at the moment.
This is what we'll do. Well, yeah, we'll have to do another one. Big up, Jasmine Knights, Honest Talks. Scattermore.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, any last advice? For anyone who wants to get into drum and bass music or just life in general.
Yep. Please don't do it for anything else other than the fact that you love the music. That's it. If you do it for that reason, everything else will be fine.
Peace out.